welcome to Some Good Tea, where we drink some tea and share some tea. I'm your host, Katie, and today I'm being joined by Sanan. As part of our November special, we are talking about writing and its difficult, arduous process in the month of November, where we all buckle down and speed up our writing efforts as part of our November writing celebration. Sanan and myself will talk about our particular techniques and the different methods that we use to help ourselves through this writing month. As part of our celebration of writing and authors in November, we here at Some Good Tea will have an episode every single week, and we will feature an author in each of those episodes. You can find those featured authors as well as previous authors, artists, and content creators on our website, somegoodtea.com. We encourage you to check it out and take a look at their work. They're pretty incredible and pretty inspirational if you are also working on some written work or other projects yourself. Let's jump into the episode. Anybody who's curious, you can go out and you can meet Sanan in person. She'll sign books for you.
Absolutely.
But you got to watch out because some of the places that she goes to are windy. And you might get blown around a bit, but you survived.
Yes.
You survived. Books were rescued. People were rescued.
Yes,
But
and
it was an adventure.
in the end, it doesn't look like I actually lost any books. Just some that are going to have to be, discounted for water damage
You could
because it was raining pretty darn heavily.
do like a fun, because you also do leather. You could like rebind them
It's true.
as like cool leather bound books and then be like, ooh, look at these ones. These are fancy. Or something like that. I don't know.
It's now artfully distressed.
Yes, it's distressed. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Something like that. That's what I don't know. I haven't talked about it on the podcast, but I have a small collection of distressed water damaged books for some reason. That
Yes.
I've debated, do I want to rebind them? Do I want to turn them into those cool like book box things? Do I just do what do I do with these?
Mhm.
Mostly I've just been replacing them and then the originals are sitting in a sad pile in a box. Because I don't like you don't throw away
All right.
books
No.
because it makes me sad. But I also, it's like I can't give those ones away because they are very sad. Very sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that. That's depressing.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about happy things. Like writing.
Yes.
Because it's novel writing November
Novel writing
once
November.
again. Yes. And while we're talking about this, we're enjoying some really fun tea. Sonnen and I went to a con as we love to do, and we got some more tea from a wonderful tea supplier. They're called Wyndwood Farms. We found them last year,
Yes.
right after we bought some books. And they make tea that's all themed after like classic stories or poems and things like that. And this is Tweedledee. It's Tweedledee
Yes.
and Tweedledum. It's a delicious tea.
Mm.
Highly recommend. Mine is quite hot, but it's very
Same.
good. Yeah, it's very good.
Very, very nice berry flavor
Mm.
scents and
Yes, yes,
smells so nice.
their Alice in Wonderland teas are all flowery and rich, very Fae-esque. It's perfect. So
Hmm.
fun. Mm. They have
Good for a chilly day.
very good. Yes. It evokes, summer and spring and a little bit of weirdness, a little bit of madness. I thought it was perfect. It was a good choice for this episode. Um, but without further ado, would you like to roll your dice and see where we end
Yes,
up with our first
certainly. I'm
question?
going to be rolling my fun Halloween D20 here.
Oh, you got a
So
Halloween dice. Oh, that's right, because you got a spooky
I did.
Halloween calendar this year.
Yes. So that is a 6.
6. Oh, that dice doesn't like you very much.
Oh, it's we kind of roll it all over the place from, 6 to 17 to who knows.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, this is a fun question.
Okay.
So we all know that the start of a book is really important, and the way you end a book is also very important. But what about the middle, the guts? Is there a book that you know of that really has locked down the middle?
Hmm.
That's a good question.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we always think about
Yeah,
the start and the end, and we're like, oh, this book,
right.
this book is a good example of this, and this book is a good example of that. But what about,
Hmm. It's like when you try to think about a book that, like,
Mhm.
I like to reread the beginnings of some books, like to
Yeah.
reread the ends of some books. But like, think of one where it's like, I'd really just be happy just plopping this down wherever it opens, right in the middle, and
Yeah,
picking
you
up from
can,
there.
you're like, maybe it dragged at the beginning and you were like,
Hmm.
oh gosh. But once you got into the middle, you were like, hey,
Things have really picked up.
this is where the meat is. Like
Hmm.
that was worth getting here. Somebody who really figured
Yeah.
out the middle ground.
Hmm. I feel this is going to be a little bit more general than a specific book, but I feel
Oh, that's
like
fine.
good mystery writers are
Oh, that's a
people who can do that because
that's
the
a good
mystery
point.
is like the beginning is just like, okay, you're kind of setting the scene, but the middle is where you're really got to get into the meat,
Mm.
into the mystery, into the figuring out what's happening, who's doing what, where do the twists happen. Because the end is, the resolution, and that's when, like, hopefully you have satisfactory ending, but again, the middle is where the drama really happens.
That is such a good point. I freaking love that. Nobody's ever brought that up before. I'm a huge fan of suspense and murder mystery. Like,
Hmm.
love it. I love it so much. And I'll go on like murder mystery kicks where I that is all I'm reading.
Hmm.
And like I obviously I'm a huge fan of fantasy,
Yeah.
right? But like usually when I leave fantasy, I'm right into like murder. That's terrible to say that. But and I'm not really a like, it doesn't really matter the time period as long as it's well
Hmm.
written. And like, that is such a good point because that's exactly why I really, really like a well done murder mystery, or even, it
Hmm.
doesn't even have like a crime
Yeah.
or spy, any kind of
Hmm.
like crime, what's gonna happen next, suspense, what's
Right.
going on, the intrigue, who done it vibes.
Hmm.
Because there's this web, it's the whole murder board thing where all the stuff
Exactly.
pinned up. I love that, where you're
Yeah.
just like, I don't know what's going on, but there's so much.
There's
And
so much happening,
I love
and
that.
I don't know if this side thing is actually an unrelated red herring or if this is going to be something really, really important by the end.
Yeah, yeah. There's an author that I've recently discovered that I've really liked. I've just been like eating up her books, just like yum
Hmm.
yum yum, like Skittles. Um that I'll do like two or three and then I'll go back off into like a nonfiction or a
Hmm.
fantasy or whatever, and then I'll go right back to two or three more of hers and bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
Um she does like period murder in the like the 1800s in like England and stuff, which
Okay.
is
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
And so that's fun because of the historical accuracy that she's able to do. But then she does that middle ground really well. And like Homegirl also does a really good job beginning, end, and she does it in
Yeah.
series where you can follow characters through
Hmm.
each book if you like that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, she does the middle ground really well. And
Yeah.
you think you always know what's going on, and then you're like, I was wrong.
I was wrong. Okay.
I was wrong. I got
Hmm.
that one wrong. I love being wrong. I love being wrong.
Yeah. Well, and I was thinking about like I haven't read like a huge amounts of him, but Dick
Mm.
Francis,
Oh
who
yeah.
does the like most of his mysteries have some kind of like horse racing, at least
Yes.
background theme, which is also really fun.
I probably have a shelf of his stuff. I have an entire shelf of his stuff. When I
Yeah.
was young, like Katie started young with murder. Because I have another shelf of the like cat who murder
Mhm.
books. They're just so cute.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to start your kids young with with murder, have them read
Right?
about these
Cat books.
cats. Sounds so bad. But the cat who murder mysteries are so cute because it's just
Mhm.
this really chill guy in his barn with his cats solving murders.
Right?
Also, like it's very much fits the vibe of like, oh, it's a quiet little town where nothing happens. So much stuff happens.
Right. So many people die here.
Everyone dies here. It's just like, oh my gosh. Like that's just how it do be. But yep, I love that I'm when it's well done, you don't know. You
Hmm.
can't predict what's gonna happen. And it's in that middle ground that you start like trying to parse together, like, wait, if this went here and that went there, and so, if she was with him at this time, then she couldn't have been there. But wait a second, they found her shoe here, and
Right. What if
yeah,
they're both part of it?
like, wait, what if they were colluding together and he was driving the getaway car? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep. Then it turns
Yeah.
out she's found dead in the next scene. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
And
it.
that's one reason that I feel like if you are writing whatever, regardless of what genre you're writing,
Yeah.
to read lots in a lot of different
Yes.
genres.
Yes.
Because like I said, mysteries really need to grab you and hold you on in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're having trouble with the middle, I'm just like, okay, well, this is boring. I'm
Yeah.
bored, and I'm the author.
Yeah. If you
Then think
start to
about,
plot along, that's part of why I came up with this question.
hmm
Because I feel like some people start with how do I they struggle with how do I start?
yeah,
Other people struggle with how do I end this thing? It just keeps going on. Or
uh-huh,
I don't know how to end it well or whatever.
yeah,
But then other people are like, I don't know how to sustain this, right? It gets
hmm
boring or it's too crazy or there's too much or whatever. Like, how do I deal with the middle?
yeah,
And everybody's advice is always like, sit down and write. Well, like, yeah, sit down and write, but also like read stuff
hmm
and read stuff with the mind of a reader, but also read stuff with the mind of a writer and
yeah,
pay attention to what that writer is doing that captivates you, that carries things through. Like what are they doing? How are they weaving things? And how can you incorporate the same kind of technique, even if you're not um in the same genre,
yeah.
you know?
Steal tropes from other genres.
Do it. Yeah. Steal their techniques, steal their tropes, steal the patterns.
Hmm.
You don't have to write the same style. You don't have to have the same voice to mimic the techniques to help you build your skills. You know?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That was a good first question.
Yeah,
And it brought up one of my favorite genres. I love it when we get
exactly.
to talk about murder. So wonderful. And if you're like, I don't like reading about murder, then watch murder mystery shows because there's so many good ones. Like, guys, I got recommendations for days, but that's not what we're talking about. I'm
Right.
gonna roll the dice before we go on another tangent. Oh, this dice likes me. We got a 17.
Awesome.
Do. Imposter syndrome can strike at any time with any profession. What do you do if you start to freeze up or are feeling discouraged with your writing? I, what do I do? Like having stuff that I'm actively like proud of, that me personally I'm like I like this chapter or I like this scene, whether other people like it or not. Like I like it and I go back to it and I can review it and be like I like it and I'm proud of this and we're good. You
Hmm.
know? Like does
Yeah.
that yeah,
No, that makes sense.
I like that.
And I think that's also very important because it can help you refocus, especially if it's in the same project,
Yeah.
for example. That can help you kind of refocus back into what it is you're trying to achieve. Like if we
Yeah.
say, if say the section you're looking back on is like a really important step in this character's, say, character arc, a
Yeah.
really pivotal moment for them. I can go back and reread that and be like, okay, that's gotten me back into
That
that character's
headspace.
mind space, that
Mm-hmm.
mind space.
Yeah.
And sometimes what I'll find is if I'm really struggling with a section, part of the problem is that I'm trying to make the character do something that is not what the character would actually do.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, this is kind of tangential, but there's different approaches to drafting.
Hmm.
Um, and I've played around with some of them. One that I've found that I really have liked is when you have your like main characters that you're going to focus on throughout the story, whether it's one person or
Hmm.
seven. I don't care.
Yeah.
I feel like seven's too many, but like whatever.
If you
However,
can make it work, go for it.
however you like to make your life hard, but like um there's a drafting method where you kind of write a paragraph that summarizes the entire story in a paragraph.
Hmm.
And then you write a page that summarizes the entire story in a page. And then you summarize the entire story from one character's perspective. And then you summarize it from another character's perspective. And you basically do that for each character.
Hmm.
And then you break it down one paragraph at a time and go from there into like scenes.
Yeah.
I've loved that method for like certain drafts, and it kind of depends on like what genre am I doing? What is it a short story? Is it a novel? Is it this or that? But I've really liked that because depending on the character and what scene I'm working on, I can go back and be like, well, in this scene, from this character's perspective, this is what they understand was going on. This is what they were feeling. Because way back when I first drafted it, this is what they were
Hmm.
experiencing in that mind space. Versus another person who was going through maybe that same thing at that time period, but this is where they were at.
Right.
I've really liked that method because it sets you up to have potentially very different people with very different perspectives experiencing a similar timeline and
Hmm.
similar events and that type of thing. Um, it also helps me to keep stuff straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I've had times when working on a story when I just kind of had to step back and go through each of the main characters, both both protagonists and antagonists,
yeah,
and just do like one or two lines in their voice of what do they want? What is
yeah,
their goal?
yeah,
And sometimes it's like, oh, I didn't actually realize that was your goal.
yeah.
So good to know. That'll help.
Yeah, you really have to be aware of that because if all that character is a few sentences of dialogue in a chapter in this
Hmm.
one thing, and that's the only development that you've ever had for that person, then you don't really know that character at all. So you're not going to really know how to write their reaction to this next scene six
Yeah.
chapters later. So like how are you supposed to go with that or do
Hmm.
anything? Like, yeah, you've got to get in their head
Yeah.
somehow.
Hmm.
however you really want to. But yeah, even if it is just a little side character that's just doing a little here, a little there, like you don't have to like write a whole huge backstory, but you gotta
Right.
get it in their head just a little bit, just like a
You
little
also
bit.
need to be aware that if you gave that random side character a name, he or she may just end up, never leaving the story. You may
And
have just
that's
adopted a new character.
fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. Like you never know what that could
Hmm.
blossom into.
Exactly.
But yeah, there we go. This is how a question about imposter syndrome then turns into a question about character development.
Exactly, right?
Oh. But yeah, if you're struggling with imposter syndrome, clearly the answer is start developing your side characters. Because they'll tell you that you're not an imposter and shut up, start writing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um,
Um,
yeah, was there
I,
anything
I
else you
mean,
wanted to add?
I will say that sometimes, just little things that will just randomly occur that you have no control over that will help with
Mhm.
imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Today while I was at work, one of my coworkers, as he like passed me in the hall, just paused and was like, "Oh, by the way, my entire friend group now loves your stories."
See,
Like,
like, yeah,
oh, awesome,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Like, and like if you're just starting out and you're just barely like working on your first draft or
Hmm.
editing a second draft or whatever, like you don't know how anything's going to be like received or anything unless you try. So,
Hmm.
um, try.
Yeah, and also don't compare your first or second or third draft to a published,
A
Brandon
published author.
Sanderson's published
Yeah.
book because because you're trying to compare the
Uh,
rowboat that you're building
yeah.
to
From
the
scratch
from scratch
with
to
hand tools.
the already completed and machine tooled, painted and fancied up
Yeah.
complete work that somebody else has finished. You're
Don't,
not seeing
yeah.
all the layers that came in between
Yeah.
that.
Like don't compare your beautiful crayon drawing that your parents put on the fridge to the Mona Lisa. Like your parents love the crayon drawing. Be
Mhm.
proud of the crayon drawing. One day you could paint the Mona Lisa if you keep on working with the crayons.
Exactly. And, Da Vinci probably didn't have crayons, but he probably had something similar. And when he was at that stage of his art,
He was still working on like
he was
he
he was
worked
doing
on it.
the
He
stick
scribbled.
figures too.
He scribbled.
Hmm.
He had scribbles. We have
Absolutely.
documentations of the scribbles, and they were gorgeous scribbles, let me tell ya. If I could scribble as good as those scribbles, I would scribble also. But like keep scribbling. Just
Yeah.
keep scribbling. If you listen to the imposter syndrome demon in your head, then you're not going to write anymore. And
Hmm.
then the only like everybody hurts from that because then we don't have your stories.
Yeah. And you're the only one who can tell your story your way.
Yeah. Yeah. So like shut up and write about your character development in chapter
Mm.
2 or whatever, because that's actually what we need to work on here. So, you want to roll the dice again?
Sure. All right. What have we got this time? Oh, we just did 17, right?
We did just do
Okay.
17, so you get
Then
to
I
roll
will
the
roll
dice
again.
again.
All right. That is a 5.
5. Man, that dice does not like you. Oh, I love this is a great question. Do
Okay.
you have a playlist of music or other ambiance that you like to write to, or do you prefer silence?
I like writing to music
Hmm.
and what so it's not so much that I have a playlist.
Okay.
So some characters have their own playlists.
Same. Go off, queen. Go off.
If I'm not if I'm more maybe not focusing on that particular character's, terrible internal drama, uh,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I will go on to YouTube sometimes and just do a search for epic music playlists.
Yeah, like if you have a like a dramatic scene or a sad scene or like a battle
Hmm.
or you just need like rain on a mountain plain or like you need some inner city driving for whatever. Like there's hour-long ambiance that can help get
Yeah, I've also
something.
seen and sometimes used. There's actually basically writing focus playlists
Yes.
where it's like,
Yeah.
all right, we have 20 minutes of music and that's your writing time.
It's a timer. Yeah.
And then it has a built-in, okay, this is our 5 minute break. Get up, do something else. Stop writing for now. Pick up, and it picks up because it's broken up into
Hmm.
chunks where it's like, okay, and now is our break. Stop
Yeah.
writing now.
Yeah. That's
Go get your
super
tea. Take a break.
helpful.
Use the
If
bathroom.
you have a day when you're like, "Hey, this is the weekend or this is my day off and I'm gonna sit and plug in and work," um, build in those break periods because the last thing you want to do is sit for like 4 hours and write and write and write and write on one day and then not
Hmm.
write at all for the rest of the week. Like you could,
Because you burned yourself out on it.
that's a disservice to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, having a built-in break, just even in the playlist itself, is that if you're kind of like struggling where you're at, where at
Hmm.
whatever with the writing, it's like, okay, I just need to go 5 more minutes, and then we have a break.
Yeah, yeah, because then you could,
Because then you have
it's
a
like hitting
goal.
snooze. Yeah, then you have a goal, and maybe you just needed to wrap up. Maybe you are on a roll, and you're like,
Hmm.
I need to get this. This scene is in me. It's
Hmm.
flowing, and you need to get it out because it's in you. That's great. That's beautiful. You're in a flow state. Let's make that happen, but
Yeah.
also respect your body's needs and take a
Hmm.
break. That's awesome. That's what you want. You want
Hmm.
to promote those flow states happening, and those happen because you get into that headspace, you let your body have that meditative state, and then
Yeah.
you take a break.
Hmm.
Because then you can come back and get back into that flow state.
Exactly.
But if you just chunk and sit there for 4, 5, 6 hours, you're going to be miserable and you are not going to write the rest of the week.
Hmm. Your brain muscle is going to get essentially sore.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like if you would cold decided to start running for an hour. The next day is gonna suck.
You're not going to run the next day, and you're not going to run the day after that, and you're not going to run the day after that. Nope. Nope, that's why we warm up. That's why we stretch. That's why we
Hmm.
pace ourselves. It's the same idea.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. Those little audio timers are great. And if you don't want to use those, if you have a playlist that you like, just set a normal timer on your phone or
Hmm.
a weird analog timer on a clock, like a weirdo. Yeah. Well, I'm the same way. There are certain playlists that I have for established characters, but then there's also just my regular playlists. And then there are years that I've had like this year for this book that I'm working on has this playlist.
Uh-huh.
Those have been fun because it's like, well, this book needs this vibe or whatever.
Right.
So that's actually been fun because that's gotten me like excited for like this uh 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 year and this project or whatever. So that's kind of like a
Oh
fun
yeah.
thing to do. Um but yeah, having timers and like a set time to like sit down with your tea
Hmm.
and your space and like your whole dedicated thing and giving myself little breaks to get up and move around and having like a set schedule. Super helpful.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. Great answer. Great questions.
All right.
If you want to roll the dice one more
Sure.
time, we'll try to
Let's
stay
do
on
it.
topic.
All right. That is a 13.
13, finally, double digits. Look at you. Such a lucky number, too.
Right?
Do you remember the like first story you wrote for your first like novel writing November.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, because I think the first one that I did for NaNoWriMo, I think was Winterlight.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Guys.
Because I wanted to take, because I wanted to be like, okay, well, I've been working on this series and you're
Yeah.
supposed to start something new that you're not pick up something that you're in the middle of.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was the first one I did for NaNoWriMo.
Oh my God. I didn't know
Yes,
that was a November book.
it was.
That's so cool. I didn't know that. I freaking love that. Guys, you can go and buy this book. That's so cool. I have it. It's on my shelf. That's so cool. That's way cool. I freaking love that. I
And
feel
I
like
think
I
in some ways the doing it as a NaNoWriMo made some of it go better because I was doing so
Mhm.
because it's part of like, just get it written type of thing.
Yeah, there's a
And
lot of like
that's why when
you just gotta get it out.
in the process it kind of speed ran some of the bumps along the way because I rewrote probably the beginning three different times
Yeah.
in different ways,
Hmm.
basically learning different aspects about the main character
Hmm.
to refine his backstory
Hmm.
to where it needed to be for the story to work the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that can be so helpful. Like the fact that like November, it speeds the process up so much when it's so
Hmm.
condensed into you have a month, you have a set word amount every day, and your goal is to like get it done. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter if it's good. You just,
Yeah,
the goal is to get it done and get that first draft on paper. And like, that's not necessarily ideal for everyone's writing style, but it can be really helpful to just get you in the habit and to get it out. That's
exactly.
awesome. That's so
And
cool.
and and, it, and again, when you have like I've got to get this many words written,
Hmm.
it means that when I hit into this wall of this is not working,
Yeah.
what's not working?
Yeah.
Okay, what's actually not working is that I have the wrong backstory for my main character
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. It forces you to really hammer out things
Hmm.
when you find yourself in a roadblock.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I feel like there's some people that kind of hate on uh novel writing November and like the
Hmm.
drafts that can happen. But like their draft, it's a draft. It's a first draft.
Exactly.
It's gonna
Exactly.
be hot garbage. But
Hmm.
like the point is now you have a little skeleton that you can work with.
Exactly.
Before you had a blank piece of paper,
Hmm.
right? You had a blank piece of paper and you had an idea in your head and you were like, this is cool. And that was it. But at
Exactly.
the end of November, now you have a first draft. And man, the things that we can do with a first draft are fantastic. And you
Hmm.
published it.
Exactly.
You published it. And
I
now
did.
there's other books after it.
Hmm.
That's
And I've
awesome. I didn't
had
know
books.
that's where that came from.
Yes, and even the title itself was like I didn't have any idea what to call this book, so I just
I
sort of
feel like
like
that happens all the time for
I'm
me.
just kind of gonna slap this title on there so that it isn't just unnamed on NaNoWriMo's
Yeah,
website.
yeah, cause the first thing they make you do, they're like, put a picture up and name it, and you're like, I don't know what this story is about.
Exactly. I haven't
Like,
started writing it, guys. How can I tell you what
yeah,
it's about?
yeah, it's like I don't know, Larry's road trip. Like, I don't know.
Right?
That's so freaking awesome. I love that so much.
Now, I will say that the first sentence of the book stayed the same the whole time through because I really enjoyed the
Awesome.
first sentence.
I feel like there's always something that's gonna hold over, right?
Hmm.
Throughout the drafting process. There's gonna be something that holds over. Even if it's like somebody's eye color stayed the same, right?
Exactly.
Something's gonna hold over from that first draft. But the fact that that was a book that you drafted in November, it's a testament to the fact that that can be a process that can work.
Exactly.
Like that's literally the point. The point is to get you to write a draft.
Exactly.
Because until you have a draft, you haven't written anything.
You can't edit a blank page.
No. Well, you can crumple it up and toss it.
That doesn't count as editing. That's just
No.
frustration.
Yeah, no. Unless it's on a computer. Don't crumple up your computer. Guys,
Please don't. Please don't.
don't do that.
We
It's
are not
expensive.
responsible for any damage you do to electronics.
Nope. Ah, dang, that's really legit. That's so cool.
Yeah. How about
From
you?
a How about me? Oh, frick. The first book that I did, I think I have to look it up.
And I think it's worth saying also for with Winterlight that, you know, obviously it was not nearly even close to being a done draft by the end of NaNoWriMo at 50,000 words
Oh
because
gosh,
the
no.
actual document is about 140,000.
Yeah. I do remember like the first time because I'd never really tracked
Hmm.
uh I'd never really tracked like my word count or anything like that before.
Yeah.
And so I remember like going through and being like, "Oh my gosh, uh, I have made this too long." Um, and being really stressed about it. Um, because I was like, I'm clearly too verbose. Uh, because, I would have like chapters or sections that were just like super long. And I
Hmm.
would be like, I'm on chapter 5 and I'm more than halfway done with this assignment.
Yeah.
And it would just be like just really long. Just really, 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 really long.
Hmm.
My first one that I did was uh gosh, this was a while ago. Actually, was it this one? I didn't save them in order.
Hmm.
They're just all This was the first one. Oh my gosh, look at that. It was 10 years ago. That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is uh which book is this? It's book 5 in a series that I've worked on like a while ago.
Hmm.
And I had I already had the idea for it, obviously, because it's book 5. And I was like, oh, well, I have the idea and I think this would work. This was at a time period in my life where I was dream journaling quite a bit.
Hmm.
And I had kind of had the idea of what I was going to do for book 5, but I hadn't quite like pinned it down of how it was all going to play out. And as has happened multiple times for several like you could call them short stories, but they always turn into novels. For
Uh-huh.
me, I had a dream and I was like, that's book 5.
Okay.
So, and November was coming up and I found out about this thing called Novel Writing November and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I want to try this out. I want to see if I can do this.
Hmm.
Um, and I did. And I very, very, very easily just like checked it off.
Nice.
So yeah, it's uh fun. It's
Hmm.
fun as most of my books that come from dreams usually are. But yeah, it's book 5. There are 8 books
Nice.
in that particular series.
Very cool.
It's a fun one. Yeah, gosh, I can't believe that was freaking 10 years ago. It's wild. But yeah, that was a fun one.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's Jessica knows this story. I've read parts of it to her. It's called The Wrong Coat. And I like it. I was pretty proud of how it turned out.
Nice.
Yeah. But Anyway, hopefully this has inspired some people and helped some people who are working on their drafts and their writing at the moment. Unfortunately, the official site for Novel Writing November is no more, but the event itself you guys can still continue to do. And we're rooting for you, all you writers out there, all you aspiring authors.
Yes,
For you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep it up. I want to read what you've written.
Yes. Awesome, guys. Well, unfortunately, this is all we have time for tonight, but we will talk at you later.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Some Good Tea. This podcast is possible because of wonderful listeners like you. We have grown because of you, so if you like what you hear, be sure to share, tell your friends and family, check out our website, somegoodtea.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We appreciate all of your support, and we will talk at you later.